Plop! A sound. Plop! A sound. Zhou Lian didn't even think as he directly knelt in front of Long Fei, kowtowed heavily, and said, "Disciple greets master." Long Fei was immediately shocked. He was just speaking casually. He did not expect Zhou Lian to take it seriously. Long Fei had seen martial arts fanatics before, but it was the first time Long Fei had seen someone so obsessed with artifact forging. Long Fei immediately supported Zhou Lian. "Elder, I was just joking just now. Don't take it as the truth." Zhou Lian kneeled on the ground and did not get up. He said, "I am not joking. I am very serious. I am here to acknowledge you as my master today. If you do not agree, I will not get up." Long Fei was stunned. Man Tualuo and the others were also shocked. An elder of the God Emperor Academy, his status was supreme. Kneeling down just like that, acknowledging a teacher, it frightened them all. Long Fei said, I do not have the qualifications to be your master. Quickly get up." Zhou Lian said, "Don't even think about it. If you do not acknowledge me as your disciple today, I will not get up. If you do not recognize me as your disciple, is it because you do not want to tell me the secrets behind the alloy armor's refining?" At this moment, Zhou Lian was about to cry. 3 days and 3 nights. For the entire 3 days and 3 nights, he studied the alloy armor and did not stop at all. No matter if it was in terms of forging methods or the characteristics of the alloy armor's external appearance, the most important thing was how did the idea perceive it. He couldn't figure it out even if he tried. If he still didn't figure it out, he really would go crazy. No one could understand that feeling. It was truly infuriating. Long Fei was speechless and said, all right, you can stand up. I promise you, is that not enough?" Zhou Lian said with a serious face, "You said it yourself. You all heard it. Don't think you can go back on your words." Long Fei. After Zhou Lian got up, he asked once more, "Master, how exactly did you do it?" Long Fei laughed bitterly and said, "These are not all things that I refined, but I know some of the questions you're asking." Zhou Lian's eyes flashed as he looked at Long Fei excitedly. Long Fei said, "I can tell you, but if you want to help me, no. I think you should help the Fengyuan Merchant Union refine artifacts." Zhou Lian said without even thinking, "I am willing." All right. Long Fei also needed a helper. There was still half a month before the God Emperor Academy's assessment, so he had to make some preparations. He had yet to fuse with a single immortal foundation, so he was unable to break through and level up, letting Zhou Lian create an alloy armor that could shake the sky. This was even better, so he had time. Over the next few days, Long Fei had even been teaching Zhou Lian how to refine sky tremor and alloy armor. He had to say it. Zhou Lian was a madman. He was extremely crazy. His talent in artifact forging was astonishing, and he was the strongest Long Fei had ever seen. Just a bit more, and he would be refining like crazy. 3 days. He then grasped how to refine Heaven Shaking Pill. Long Fei said, "First, refine 100 of Heaven Shaking Sword. After you finish refining, I will teach you how to refine alloy armor." Zhou Lian replied, "Disciple understands." He really treated Long Fei's disciple with not the slightest airs of an elder of the God Emperor Academy in his presence, so he was also incomparably respectful towards Long Fei. In addition, you must eat on time. If you do not eat and rest on time, I will not tell you how to refine alloy armor. Long Fei had to ask him. Otherwise, this madman, Zhou Lian, would have been able to refine 100 heaven-shaking booms in the shortest amount of time possible. Zhou Lian replied, "Disciple understands." At night, Long Fei walked to the center of the courtyard and let out a long sigh. Man Tualuo was cultivating a poison pill, and she had been working even harder during this period. Xiao Ying and Fatty Chen had gone off somewhere else, and were similarly cultivating, wanting to follow Long Fei into the God Emperor Academy. At this moment, Fu Xishan walked into the courtyard. Long Fei immediately asked, "Have you found anything?" Fu Xishan shook his head and said, "No, Lu Luoxi and the others did not come to God Emperor City. Tomorrow, I will send more people to investigate." Long Fei frowned. "You haven't arrived yet." During this time, he was worried about Li Yuanba, Zhou, and the others. According to their agreement, they should be rushing to the God Emperor City as well, but in a few days, God Emperor Academy will be taking the examination. Since they still haven't appeared, Long Fei had no choice but to worry. "Jojo, you leopard girl, are you all right?" "For great Vajra, Lu Luoxi, why haven't you come?" Long Fei was a little worried that something would happen to them. He wasn't worried about anything else. He was worried that the Tong Tian Hall of Immortals would attack the southern domain again. They were worried that Gu Wuji and Tai Hong would attack them again. Once he entered the immortal domain, he understood how powerful the Tong Tian Hall of Immortals was. In the entire Sky Martial Continent, there was probably no one that was stronger than the Tong Tian Hall of Immortals. It not only controlled the entire God Emperor Academy, he also controls all the rankers in Immortal Domain. It was an unshakable existence. The supreme god of the Tong Tian Hall of Immortals was also the strongest in the Immortal Domain. If he were to make a move against the Southern Domain, no one would be able to stop him. Fu Xishan said, "Don't worry, maybe they didn't come." Long Fei said, "I hope that's the case. I actually hope that they're still in the South Horizon region." "Grandfather, are you all right?" Long Fei looked at the night sky, his eyes filled with longing. Fu Xishan looked at Long Fei and silently left the courtyard. Long Fei moved and said to the Yen Huang ancestor, "Ancestor, how is the nurturing of the Yin soldiers in the Yellow Springs summoning seal? I want to send someone to take a look at the South Horizon region." Long Fei was still worried. Yen Huang and the old man chuckled and said, "5 immortal crystals I have already nurtured a Yin soldier from the virtual immortal stage, and the other Yin soldiers have also stepped into the spiritual level." Virtual immortal stage. Long Fei's heart shook, and he was dumbstruck. "Damn, you're awesome." Yen Huang ancestor laughed proudly. "Of course, how could my emperor, Yen Huang, not be powerful? If you give me more immortal crystals, I can nurture these ghost soldiers to the fitted realm, a level of invincible existences. In addition, I forced your idea into their Yin bodies. They will only listen to one of your orders." The old patriarch said, 1,000 ghost soldiers was not easy to control. What if they rebelled? The Yen Huang ancestor must save a trick for Long Fei. Long Fei said, "Thank you, ancestor." The Yen Huang ancestor laughed. "Why are you being polite with me? Do you want to know who broke through the virtual immortal stage?" Yen Huang ancestor became excited. Long Fei immediately said, "Take a look." And then Yen Huang ancestor's chi moved. A strand of Yin body floated out from the Yellow Springs summoning seal. "Disciple Lang, Qianli greets, boss." "Huh. It's actually you who broke through the virtual immortals stage first." Long Fei was startled. Lang Qianli lewdly laughed and said, "Hee hee." Long Fei said, "Right now, go back to the southern domain. I want to know how my grandfather and the others are doing. Go and come back quickly." Lang Qianli immediately replied, "Disciple understands." He turned into a ball of light and disappeared. What shocking speed! Long Fei was shocked. The Yen Huang ancestor said, "His speed is top-notch. Virtual immortal stage. He can be considered an expert even in the immortal domain." "Right. Baidu's sister-in-law, a half. Floating life strongest upgrade system. Are your space ring fused or not? If I don't fuse them, I won't be able to hold myself back." Long Fei immediately said, "Damn, of course we have to fuse them. Immediately fuse them." Chapter 5. Thank you, Brother Tian, the scenery along the way, for your strong monthly tickets. Thank you, brothers, for your monthly tickets 8_8419/2356999. The Fairy Stone Root S were unique. The Fairy Stone Root S were unique. The most powerful part of this immortal foundation was its endless power of celestial. Of course, this was for other ordinary warriors. What about Long Fei? His pubes was shattered and was unable to use the normal way to absorb the nature's spirit energy. He could only rely on killing to absorb it. Then what would happen to the Fairy Stone Root? Long Fei's mind stirred, and he looked at the Fairy Stone Root in his mind as he gently exhaled, and said, "If I don't fuse them, I won't be able to break through. There's no other choice. Fuse. Ding. Are you sure you want to fuse with a Fairy Stone Root?" Long Fei. Confirmed. Ding. Beginning fusion. Buzz. His mind sunk, and immediately after, the Fairy Stone Root disappeared. A dense energy started to surge into his forelimbs and all over his body. It was extremely powerful and poured into Long Fei's body like a torrential flood. His body was trembling. Yen Huang ancestor slightly said, "Brat, persevere." The blend of fairy vein would definitely suffer because the immortal foundation is helping to change your body. It will become a part of your body, and this process will be painful. In this world, Long Fei was afraid of everything except pain. When he felt the strong impact, intense pain exploded in his limbs and bones. It was as if he did not feel any pain at all. At this moment, all he had was excitement. Hopefully, it will be like the description, possessing an endless supply of power of celestial S. If that's the case, I might be able to turn Yen Long into God very soon. Hee hee. Long Fei was excited. Training this set of turn Yen Long into God required 1,000,000 points. With his current power of celestial value of tens of thousands of points, it would take too long. He couldn't wait. How Yi was doing now, he didn't know. However, could tell that the reason for Xiao Qianwu's sudden transformation was most likely because of his identity. They should be Gu Wuji's men. The God Emperor Academy must be incredibly dangerous. He had to make himself strong enough, the extent to which he need not be afraid, even if he were to meet Gu Wuji. He was in the South Horizon region. He wanted the South Horizon region to rise to prominence. He wanted everyone to have a whole new level of respect for the South Horizon region. The only way for him was to stand at the peak of this world. Boom. Boom. Rumble. Long Fei's body was covered in perspiration, and he was trembling non-stop. Suddenly, buzz. In Long Fei's mind, a fairy
System
stone
notification.
quietly stood
Player
there,
cannot
dispersing this bit of power
Ding.
of celestial.
System notification.
It was like a divine
Players
stone
need
in
to
a
fuse
movie
with a second-level
sparkling
fairy
with
route
radiance
to
be able to level
Ding.
up. Fairy
Congratulations
stone
to
were just
player.
level 1
Long
immortal
Fei
route.
for successfully
If one
fusing
wanted
with
to
fairy
break through the
stone route
spiritual level
with 100
they must
experience
first
points,
obtain the second
power
level
of
fairy
celestial
route.
100 points.
Otherwise, they would
and a
not
special
be able to
reward
break
of 100
through
points.
this shackle.
Ding.
Long Fei did not think about all these, but started to check the attributes of the Fairy Stone Root. Item, Fairy Stone Root Grade. Grade 1 Martial Saint. Attribute, Power of Celestial Description. The Fairy Stone Root is able to continuously release power of celestial to nourish the body. Description 2. When the Wang family's power of celestial value drops to 50 points, the Immortal Foundation will stop supporting the body's power of celestial and release it to the player. Description 3. The higher the level of the power of Celestial's immortal foundation, the stronger the power of Celestial it will reveal. Ha ha ha. Long Fei shouted excitedly. As expected, it can actually nourish the physical body. This was something that Long Fei had completely not expected. Moreover, the moment the blend of fairy veins succeeded, Long Fei could clearly feel the 8-clawed golden dragon let out a comfortable moan, and his 8-clawed golden dragon protector was concealed within his own body. He also needed strength, and the fairy stone root provided them with an endless supply of power of Celestial. It made them excited. Long Fei secretly thought, could it be? Is the 8-clawed golden dragon going to level up again? The main strength of the 8-clawed golden dragon was its protective ability. If they could level up, then their strength would become even greater, and it would no longer be as simple as just protecting their bodies. Ha ha ha. Long Fei laughed excitedly. Bugue has unique immortal roots. It's really too outrageous. Patriarch, can you absorb it? Long Fei asked. The Yen Huang ancestor said, I'm not even a part of your body. How would I be able to absorb? He could feel the strength of the fairy stone root and muttered, if I had known earlier that I could be so strong, I would have eaten it in secret. Then wouldn't I still be flying? Sigh. He was extremely vexed. However, he was genuinely happy for Long Fei to be able to fuse with such a powerful immortal foundation. Long Fei asked, Ancestor, how do I break through to the immortal foundation? The fairy stone root was only at level 1, so if he wanted to obtain more power, he had to raise it to a higher level, Yen Huang ancestor said. This is the same as cultivation. It needs to continuously stimulate its potential, stimulate its power out, and break through its limits time and time again in order to level up time and time again. However, Brat, your immortal foundation is indeed powerful, but to discuss this matter, to discuss it would become another matter. Supreme God shouted and said, I told you guys to discuss this natural phenomenon. I didn't want you guys to chatter endlessly and scold us like a shrew. And then Supreme God said lightly, I will take care of Qiu Wandao's matter. It was also at this time a ray of starlight fell, and a star spirit messenger returned to the main hall. He knelt on one knee and said, reporting to Supreme God, the thunder is in a mountain 8,000 kilometers away from God Emperor City. This mountain is called Thunder Mountains. It was named because of the rolling thunder and lightning. Other than that, I have checked the history records. There has never been a giant devil owl with a seal in the Thunder Mountains, so it should be possible to rule out the possibility of a giant demon breaking through the seal. As soon as his voice faded, all of the elders in the hall relaxed slightly. Many people grinned. Ha ha. I said it. It definitely wasn't born from a giant demon. Exactly. Even if the giant demon has the guts, he wouldn't dare to be impudent under the feet of the Tong Tian Hall of Immortals. Why didn't I see you guys like that just now? Elder Li, what do you mean by this? What is it? Am I wrong? Weren't you scared like a grandson just now? You King grandson. Supreme God took a deep breath and shouted, Enough! The hall instantly turned silent. Supreme God asked, Have you investigated it clearly? The Spirit Star Envoy said heavily, Investigate carefully. It is definitely not the million-strong giant demon breaking through the seal. Unless... Supreme God frowned and asked, Unless what? The messenger said, Unless this giant demon isn't recorded in the annals of history. Supreme God relaxed a little. He did not need to worry about that, because all the giant demons of the seal were recorded in order to prevent the future of the breaking through the seal. Since that's the case, everyone can go back. In addition, Although the giant demon did not appear within the boundaries of the God Emperor's city, the devil intent is becoming more and more powerful. The western devil flames are burning crazily. I am afraid it will not be long before I reach the immortal domain. Now you all better hurry up and find the demon slayer. Do you understand? Supreme God's voice was imposing. All the elders answered in unison, "As you wish." The devils all had breaking through the seal shackles. The devil fire from the west was getting stronger and stronger every day, and it wouldn't be long before they enter the immortal domain. If there weren't any demon slaughterers at that time, maybe a calamity was about to befall the Tianwu continent. The night passed in turmoil. The next morning, before the God's Phoenix Pavilion even opened its doors, a few strong-built men wearing beast skins rushed in. "Ha ha! Ha ha! I was just joking with you." Long Fei laughed and said, "However, I am not interested in any natural phenomenon or demon slayer." It's true. His main purpose of coming to the God Emperor Academy was to find his father and look for the dragon region. The other was to save Senior E. As for the demon slayer, who cares what the hell? However, Long Fei's mind slightly sunk as he muttered, "Demon slayer? Giant demon? The 18th level of hell." Suddenly, a sharp light flashed in Long Fei's eyes as he asked, "Are you saying that there's a possibility of the giant demon from 1,000,000 years ago appearing in Thunder Mountains?" Lei Zhong originally had no confidence in himself, but after seeing Long Fei ask this question, he immediately said, "That's right, I obtained this information from the Tongtian Hall of Immortals. It's very possible that it's the giant demon breaking through the seal from 1,000,000 years ago. So, whoever can kill the giant demon this time is the strongest person in the Sky Martial continent, the first demon slayer." He spoke very excitedly. His goal in coming to God Emperor Academy was to become a demon slayer. Being a hero was his dream since he was young. Long Fei thought for a moment, then immediately said, "Fatty Chun, get ready. Xiaoying, go ask your young miss to prepare. This time, we have to go for the biggest one." Long Fei immediately became excited. He wasn't trying to become a demon slayer, nor was he trying to become a hero. What he wanted was only one, to repair the broken second layer of the 18th level of hell, Scissor Hell. When the gravity troll was on the first floor, he was simply too valiant. If there really was a giant demon in Thunder Mountains, then would he become the second troll in the 18 hells? Thinking about this, Long Fei's blood started to boil. At this moment, Fu Shishan hurriedly entered the backyard and said, "You're not allowed to go." Huh. Long Fei was startled. Lei Zhong immediately asked, "Who said you can't go?" Fu Shishan said in an overbearing manner, "I said so." Lei Zhong immediately became weak and stood beside Long Fei. Fu Shishan immediately said, "I heard about this matter. It's too dangerous. Forget about the fact that there aren't any giant demons in Thunder Mountains. Just those experts that enter the Thunder Mountains are already extremely dangerous existences. The auction has just started, and we've offended too many people. It's very dangerous to go out now, so I won't allow you to go out." Fu Shishan acted like a big sister. God Emperor Academy's elder, principal, the Murong King's mansion, the Chun family, the 9 Business Union, and the Black Shark faction of the God Emperor City. These are all superficial. There are also dangerous people you don't know about in the dark. Once Long Fei leaves this place, there would definitely be danger. Fu Shishan thought about many things. Fu Shishan said, "I asked the kitchen to prepare some food. You guys bring it along the way to eat." She already knew that she wouldn't be able to stop Long Fei. Long Fei hugged Fu Shishan and said, "Sis, you're really great." Suddenly, he hugged. Fu Shishan could not take it anymore. Her heart was thumping hard. Her cheeks were red. Suddenly, Long Fei said, Fu Xishan asked, "What's wrong?" Long Fei said, "My chest is being held back by 2 balls of stuff. It's so painful." Fu Xishan was enraged. "Stinking brat, you dare eat my tofu. Are you looking for a beating?" Wave after wave of people leaving the city were all rushing towards the Thunder Mountains. Even though the Heavenly Hall of Immortals had clearly stated that the Thunder Mountains did not possess the giant demon breaking through the seal, but the more he explained, the more people felt that there must be giant demons in the Thunder Mountains. And even if there weren't any giant demons, there would definitely be some good stuff there. Otherwise, why would Tong Tian Hall of Immortals investigate all this? And then again, the more the news spread, the more outrageous it would become. It was just like how a few people from Metro would eventually turn into a bunch of broads. Bang! 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 Thus, basically, all the examinees who came to the God Emperor city were rushing to the Thunder Mountains, hoping to become Demon Slayer. This was also the reason they came to the God Emperor city. Whoever could become a Demon Slayer would be able to soar into the sky. That kid went out. All right. Sister-in-law, 1-/+ health, strongest upgrade system. You dog, you've caused us to become like this. No matter what, we must make him die without a burial ground. Elder, should we report this to the higher-ups? No need. I'll bear all the consequences. Long Fei, I will kill you. Chapter 38_8419/2357002. Long Fei did not come out during this time. He was in God's Phoenix Pavilion. But during this time, the people around God's Phoenix Pavilion were all assassins hired by the 9 Business Union with huge amounts of money. Long Fei did not come out during this time. He was in God's Phoenix Pavilion. But during this time, the people around God's Phoenix Pavilion were all assassins hired by the 9 Business Union with huge amounts of money. Their only goal was Long Fei's head. The auction had left the 9 Business Union almost completely wiped out, and they could not stay in the God Emperor city anymore, as they had to vent their anger no matter what. Also, Murong Mansion. The moment Long Fei walked out of the God's Phoenix Pavilion, he received a message. Tian, what do you want to do this time? Murong Fenglei looked at Murong Tian, who had a gloomy expression. Last time at the auction, Murong Tian lost all his face. He had been waiting for this chance, and it was not easy to get this chance. He would not let it go. I don't need the qualifications to pass the entrance examinations. I won't enter the God Emperor Academy. But, Long Fei, I must take your dog's life. Murong Tian said as he gnashed his teeth. Then he turned to Murong Fenglei and said, Father, I will definitely not lose this time. The Jedi won't. The current Murong Tian was no longer the Murong Tian of the auction. Even though Chiu Wanao disqualified him and made him unqualified, he was still unqualified. However, he received the favor of Shao Qianwu and even specially brought him a level 3 demon beast immortal root. His strength was not what it used to be. Thunder Mountains, entrance, pay up, pay up. What money? It's a toll. Can't you see that this road is ours to drive? No. Men, beat him up, beat him up, beat him to death. The Thunder Mountains was very big, and there were many entrances. However, from this morning onwards, he had been occupied by a group of people. If he wanted to enter the mountain, he would have to pay a fairy stones as his fare. A fairy stones. For an ordinary martial artist, this was not a small number. However, as long as you didn't hand it over, it would be a beating. The bruises and bruises were light, but the heavy one would become a cripple. Why do you still have to pay? Xiaoing muttered, Isn't everyone allowed to enter this mountain range? A middle-aged man in front of her turned around and looked and said, Little miss, you might not know about this, but this is a new rule from this morning. Whoever enters the mountain has to pay fairy stones as a toll. Those who dare not hand it over. Well, that group of people is the end. The middle-aged man looked at the few people with wounds all over their bodies. Long Fei could not help but ask, just because no one cares? Who cares? Who dares to interfere? Do you know who they are? Pa. Useless trash. God Emperor Academy's face has been completely thrown away by you two. An elder shouted with a livid face. Master, that kid brought a poison pill refiner with him. We were caught off guard and ended up like this. I'm not done with this matter yet. The disciple said fiercely. That elder said, don't worry about them for now. After entering the Thunder Mountains, even if there's a chance of survival, go ahead and charge them a fee. Pass down my orders. Starting now, if you want to enter the mountain, you must pay 2 fairy stones. That disciple was surprised for a moment, and then said, 2, then many people won't be able to enter the mountain? The elder laughed coldly. Don't worry. The higher the price, the more people want to enter, which means that there must be some treasure in Thunder Mountains. In addition, the center of his brows sunk as he muttered to himself in a low voice, Master needs too many fairy stones. I need to take more steps. This person was 6 Cloud Immortals. He had once appeared in the South Horizon region, and was Hong Tianjuan's master, the 6 Cloud Immortal, and also the head disciple of Gu Wuji, within the mountain range. Fatty Chin muttered, such a big mountain range. Where can we find it? Xiaoing was also a little discouraged. That's right, it's too big. Lei Zhong looked at Long Fei. Young Master Long, do you have any ideas? Long Fei smiled lightly and said, Thunder Mountains, there are a lot of demon beasts. We can't find the giant demon race, but we can cultivate. So this is a very good trial ground. There are only a few days until the God Emperor Academy's assessment. This place will be considered our last attempt. Qin Tianfei was startled for a moment and said, Why didn't I think of that? I was just thinking of opening my Holy Armor Fairy Veins 4th floor. Boss, I'll go first. After he finished speaking, Qin Tianfei rushed over, only to see a demon beast's eyes shining brightly, and said, Little demon, come and ram against me. Bam! After knocking Qin Tianfei away in an instant, Qin Tianfei crawled up from the ground and laughed excitedly. Good job, great job. Lei Zhong disdainfully said, Pervert! Xiaoing said in a scornful voice, So vulgar to actually take liberties with a demon beast. Do you know that it's the boss? Long Fei laughed. At the same time, he also began to move. When he entered the immortal domain, his cultivation technique basically did not improve at all, especially the 9 Knives force. He had always wanted to cultivate the domineering aura of the 9 Knives force, that kind of domineering aura that could make people around him faint with a single step was the domineering aura within the one piece, the domineering aura that belonged solely to Sauron. 9 Knives force, Azura. 3 heads, 6 arms, 9 blades all struck out, and in an instant he violently attacked and sent a demon beast flying. At the same time, he also sent it flying Dragon Chop. 680 slashes, whoosh, 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 asterisk. Man Tualuo's aura faintly moved. Smallpox. A wisp of green smoke was emitted from his body. The green smoke seemed to have its own consciousness. It quickly jumped into the nose of a demon beast. Following that, the demon beast went berserk. He himself crazily smashed into the rock, the blood flowing out from his head, only stopping after he died. Xiaoing descended from the sky and instantly rode on the back of a demon beast. His fists were like hammers, crazily smashing downwards. One punch was heavier than another. The punches and punches were all violence. This violent Loli was going berserk. She was simply too valiant. Lei Zhong did not explode at all this time. He would only occasionally attack with a bit of strength and did not reveal his strength. It was not because he was concealing anything from Long Fei, but because he simply did not have the chance to do so. For 3 days straight, Long Fei and the other 3 quickly stepped forward. On the 4th day, Long Fei arrived at the summit of a mountain and looked at the dense forest in the distance. From time to time, he would scare a flock of birds, but he would not discover anything big. Humph! No matter what, being able to come out for the trial is a pretty good upgrade for them. It's me. Long Fei was still in the holy 9th rank. His experience points had already risen to 100% and reached 300%. Because he did not have to fuse with the 2nd level fairy route, he was unable to break through the spiritual level. The 2nd level fairy route. What a hard wound. Although he had the 9-grade immortal spirit, the golden dragon protector, and the giant demon and ancestor, these were all external forces. If he was not allowed to use this power, what about Long Fei? The holy 9th rank was truly too weak. A spiritual level ranker could crush him. Level. It was important, very important. Chen Tianfei ran over and said, "Boss, did you find anything?" Long Fei recovered his wits and said, "No, I'll stay the night here. I'll try changing my direction tomorrow." All right. Chen Tianfei did not ask further. In the dead of night, while the demon beast was moving, its roars continued to come out from within the darkness, and the sounds of battle would occasionally come out. Suddenly, rumble! A bolt of lightning streaked through the night sky. Long Fei suddenly jumped up from his seat and quickly rushed to the edge of the cliff. The heavy thunder this time gave him a very different feeling. Moreover, even the eyes of the gravity troll in the 18th floor of hell shook, bursting forth with a wave of vigorous energy. Rumble! Immediately after, another bolt of lightning descended, causing the entire Thunder Mountains to tremble. Those restless demon beasts all crawled on the ground, shivering as if they were incomparably afraid. What a strong lightning! Long Fei's heart sank. Long Fei, however, could not see any traces of lightning striking down. He could clearly feel the incredibly strong lightning striking down, but I just can't see where. Fatty Chin rushed over. "Boss, what's the situation?" Lei Zhong said, "What a powerful lightning bolt. It's exactly the same as last night, but this time it was even more intense." Xiao Ying and Man Tuoyuo also walked up and looked around. Where is he? Suddenly, rumble! 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 Several bolts of lightning struck down in unison, but it was still impossible to see and unable to sense its direction. The only thing they knew was that the surrounding lightning really existed. It was not only Long Fei and the others. All the warriors in Thunder Mountains heard the sound of thunder, but they could not sense its position. It was like thunder striking the void. Why can't I see it? Could lightning be invisible? Even if he's invisible, he'll still find the location. But why can we hear these lightning bolts, but not know where they are? Everyone was puzzled. Even the Yin Huang ancestor did not understand. Suddenly, Fei flew out from the Thunder Dragon Rod and said to Long Fei, "Master, I know where it is, and I can feel it." Long Fei's mind tightened and asked, "Where?" "Fei is the spirit of lightning, and I'm afraid there's no one who is more familiar with lightning than she is." Fei moved and said, "I'll help you open your eyes. You'll see it." Finished. Fei muttered an incantation, and a bizarre power rushed into Long Fei's eyes. It was also at this moment that a trace of lightning flashed in Long Fei's eyes. He looked into the distance. Long Fei's scalp went numb, but at the same time, he became excited. Thunder Beast Giant Demon. Boss. Chapter 5. Thank you for your monthly tickets. Thank you, brothers, for your monthly tickets. Table of contents 8_8419/2357004. The old man shivered slightly and immediately said, "This old servant obeys." And then his figure flashed and disappeared. Pan Sheng's eyes slightly faced the sky, and he muttered to himself in a low voice, "Once upon a time, my sky-separating clan was the ruler of the Sky Martial Continent, a dragon. The damnable dragon race forced us to live in seclusion. After 1,000,000 years, the dragon race disappeared, and we rose up once more. But we once again encountered the Long family of the Southern Sky region, who just came back from the prehistoric realm. And we were once again crushed. This time, I want everyone to know that my sky-separating clan is the protector of the Tianwu continent, and also a paragon. Dragon Clan. Long family, as long as you dare to appear, I will cut you into 10,000 pieces." As soon as his voice faded, an incomparably powerful impact of power of celestial burst out from his body. This power of celestial's impact directly connected to the Hall of Immortals. Even the heavenly Hall of Immortals was shocked. Supreme God opened his eyes, his eyebrows knitted tightly, and the idea was like a madman, instantly spreading out. It was also at this time the elders from the various heavenly Hall of Immortals all rushed over. What happened? Why is the Hall of Immortals in chaos? What was that just now? Too powerful. Just who could possibly shake the Hall of Immortals? Everyone was incomparably nervous. They were all worried that the giant demon race would arrive. However, Supreme God was full of smiles as he said in an incomparably excited voice, "The power of opening the heavens. Seems like the Pan clan has made their move." Pan clan? Supreme God, are you talking about sky-separating clan? Supreme God nodded and laughed. Looks like the demon slayer is about to be born. First, table of contents 8_8419/2357005. The thunderous beast's scornful voice rang, and the lightning on its body fiercely exploded. 100,000 volts of lightning, activate for me. Bang, bang, bang. Over 100,000 peak level lightning bolts burst out from his body, with him at the center. The old man laughed coldly as he hovered above the glowing formation. You won't be able to break this formation. 100,000 volts of electricity did not cause any damage at all. The formation didn't budge at all. The Thunder Beast was also shocked. It grinned and said, "Not bad. Sky-separating clan is still the sky-separating clan. You still have some power. However, then I'll let you have a taste of what's called the power of 10 million volts." As soon as he finished, Long Fei's face changed. Without thinking, he shouted loudly, "Run!" Pulling man Tuoliyuo, without caring about anything else, he ran towards the back. Lei once again followed, behind Qin Tianfei, to protect him. They didn't think too much and directly ran out. In that instant, the thunderous beast lowered its arms, and the muscles on its arms doubled in size. The lightning on its body crackled, and as it clenched its fists, it let out a loud roar. Thunder God Hammer! Get out! He stabbed his hand into the ground, and thick blue veins covered his entire body like steel bars. Powerful energy shot out and grabbed a giant hammer from the depths of the ground. A heavy hammer. The hammer was engraved with ancient runes. The thunderous beast grinned. 10 million volts. Explode for me. He gripped the hammer with both hands and heavily smashed it down. Crack. Equals semi/floating life plus. Rumble. Rumble. Dazzling white lightning shot into the sky like a volcanic eruption, firmly crushing down on the surroundings. Xuanabai's radiance exploded outwards like a nuclear bomb. Powerful, too powerful. Long Fei became even more excited. With this guy, I won't have to worry about leveling up again in the future. 8_8419/2357006. Boom, boom, boom. Fatty Chen's entire body seemed to explode. Fatty, it's fine. I can still take it. Chun Tianfei was bleeding from the corner of his mouth, looking at another wave of shock waves rushing towards him. He roared out again. Holy Armor Fairy Vein. 4th floor, open. Buzz. His body had reached a certain limit. His immortal foundation was also forced to its limits. These days, he felt like his immortal foundation was about to break through, but he couldn't find any powerful force to attack him. This was the best chance. Boom. The 4th floor of the Holy Armor Fairy Vein was easily broken through, and the defenses that were exploding out from his body became even more ferocious. 10 seconds. 20 seconds. After 30 seconds, Chun Tianfei's entire body was covered in blood. His entire body looked like a blood man, standing there without moving at all. 1 minute. It was as though 10,000 years had passed, and the world around them had become another world. The heaven-opening formation wasn't here. The light was gone. The people from Sky-Separating Clan were also not here. The only one who didn't change was the giant thunder beast demon that was shining with golden light. It held a lightning hammer in its hand, and its expression was extremely arrogant. It spat out a mouthful of phlegm. Pah! Sky-Separating Clan? Like shit. It was extremely disdainful. You want to trap me with such a small formation? Humph! You overestimate yourself. The lightning beast was extremely disdainful. The power of lightning contained the power to destroy everything, and it was completely unafraid of any formation. In a powerful formation, as long as one had absolute power, they would be able to destroy it even if they couldn't find the core. This was the world where strength reigned supreme. However, 100 miles away, an old man stood in midair and sneered. Do you think you can escape? Forcefully summoning the Thunder God Hammer. Your body's power should be almost used up, right? Thunder Beast, do you think you're strong? Ha ha ha. In our eyes, you are just a dog that was killed by the Long family seal. Understand? The old man was filled with contempt. While he was speaking, the people from the Sky-Separating Clan that laid down the array walked out one after another. They did not receive the slightest bit of injury, nor did they receive the slightest bit of injury. It wasn't because they were fast, but because their strength was too strong. The face of the lightning beast darkened as its fury surged. The lightning on its body crackled as it exploded. I'll try again if you dare. The elder laughed coldly. Just 10 more times is fine. You are a dog from the Long family's seal, a mere dog. The reason the people from the Long family were unable to kill you back then is because they were weak. Hee hee. Our Sky-Separating Clan wants to use your head to sacrifice to the heavens. The elder acted as if he didn't put the lightning beast in his eyes. Incomparable arrogance. However, at this moment, the people from Thunder Mountains who dreamed of becoming a demon slayer appeared. Nothing. He's mine. I want to become a demon slayer. Kill them all. It was as if he had gone mad. There was only one giant demon. Whoever could be the first to kill one would become a demon slayer. This was an opportunity to rise to the heavens in a single step. No one wanted to miss out on this. Lei Zhong recovered a bit and stepped forward. I still haven't made my move. When did it become your turn? Long Fei pulled him back and said, Don't go over there. This guy is too dangerous. It was also at this time. Pan Sheng said to the old man, Let's go. Startled, the elder spoke. Young master, at this point, he is weak. We should pursue him while he is at an advantage. Pan Sheng smiled slightly and said, It's easy to deal with him. We do not only want him as a demon slayer, we want him to be a sensation. The more people the Thunder Beast kills, the greater the commotion would be caused. And when our sky-separating clan kills him, it would also cause a sensation throughout the entire Sky Martial continent. Just you wait. There will be more people appearing soon. Pan Sheng was in no hurry to take action, because no one knew his secret. Only the Pan clan knew about it. Pan Sheng laughed coldly. Go ahead, kill to your heart's content. The more people they killed, the stronger the lightning beasts would become. The more people they killed, the stronger the lightning beasts would become. To be remembered by more people. In the end, the people of Sky-separating clan appeared and killed. This was the best way to create a sensation. What they needed to do now was to create momentum. Just as Pan Sheng expected, the entire Thunder Mountains was moving towards him. One group after another, they were dreaming of the Demon Slayer. All of them rushed forward with no regard for their lives. Kill! Charge! Kill! The sound of battle shook the skies. In just half a minute, there were already over 100 people rushing forward. The giant Thunder Beast's eyes turned cold. As it looked at the ant-like humans beneath its feet, its eyes turned cold. Even trash like you dare to act so arrogantly in front of me? All of you die. His voice was filled with rage as the lightning on his body shot out explosively. The Thunder God hammer in his hand hacked the air. Boom! One of them was directly chopped into powder. Wherever the lightning went, there was death. It was as if the scythe of death was frantically reaping the harvest. In just a few seconds, over 100 people had been instantly killed. Even his body wasn't able to get close, let alone kill him. Lei Zhong felt chills go down his spine as he felt a lingering fear in his heart. If not for Long Fei, he would have rushed up and died in an instant like these people. Man, Tuoluo asked, Young Master Long, are we going to just watch as these people die? Xiaoing was also fuming. That's too cruel. Tianfei panted heavily and said, Boss, let's do it. This fellow is too arrogant. If I don't kill him, I will not be surnamed Chen. Damn it, I have never seen anyone as arrogant as him. Long Fei frowned. He had never heard of it in his mind. He had always been thinking about how to destroy the lightning on the lightning beast's body, how to get close to it, how to continuously simulate it in his mind. However, after deducing 100 times, none of them managed to get close to him. Do it. We have to do it. Long Fei clenched both his fists tightly, feeling extremely unhappy as well. Wait here for my order. I'll go up and test it out. Long Fei needed to find out more about the Thunder Beast's strength. He needed to get closer to the Thunder Beast and look for its weakness. He must have a weakness. The weakness of gravity troll lies in their seal. What was his weakness? What is it? Long Fei kept thinking about this problem. Without waiting for anyone to react, Long Fei had already rushed out. It was also at this time, in the forest not far away. That kid has already charged up. What should we do? Ha ha! There's no rush. Once he fights with the lightning beasts, we will attack Fatty Chen and the rest. Understood. Young Master, Long Fei has already rushed forward. The Thunder Beast was incomparable rage. The lightning on his body shook as he roared, Die! Rumble! Long Fei's clones were all blasted away, transforming into streams of white smoke and disappearing. In just a few seconds, all the 10,000 to 10,000 clones had died. The information that Long Fei had gathered was extremely vague and was basically not useful at all. No, it's still not possible. There's not a single place that is his weakness. Dragon Salyer, since he had come, if he did not cut it, and look at how much health he had, Long Fei would not be willing to leave just like that. Buzz. When the dragon Salyer landed in his hands, the ancestor of Dark Dragon God roared fiercely. Long Fei moved, leaped up high, and slashed at the lightning beast. Dragon Salyer? Dragon Salyer? Someone from the Long family? Someone from the Long family? Almost at the same time, the giant thunder beast demon and Pan Sheng spoke out. The giant thunder beast was startled for a moment, looking at the dragon Salyer in Long Fei's hands. The anger in his heart burst forth as he roared, "It's that blade again! It's the people from the Long family again! I have been in the seal for more than 3 million years. If Laozi does not look for you, why have you come to find Laozi? Die for me." The pressure of the lightning on its body exploded out, heavily smashing forward. The Thunder God Hammer was even more ferocious. Long Fei's heart sank. The golden dragon that was protecting his mind roared and blocked the thunderous beast's pressure. The moment the blade and hammer collided, when the power exploded out, the Dark Dragon God's blade aura was not blocked by the Thunder God Hammer, and it still smashed down heavily like before. Boom. 20991. A bright red number floated up from the Thunder Beast's head, and a number that made Long Fei's scalp go numb appeared. 100 million HP. Fourth, 8_8419/23570009. The moment they arrived, the bare top of the thunderous beast's head showed up. The moment they arrived, the bare top of the thunderous beast's head showed up. The lightning beast gently touched, as though it was being humiliated. Rage. The lightning on his body soared to its peak as he roared, "Die!" A streak of lightning exploded out from the Thunder God Hammer. Boom. It directly sent Long Fei into the air. Following that, the Thunder Hammer moved and smashed down heavily onto Long Fei, who was in the air. There was no time to react at all. Long Fei also could not react in time. Too fast. The difference between his cultivation and that of a thunder beast was simply too great. There was simply no way to block it all. The moment the heavy hammer landed, the Azure Dragon ancestor inside the Green Dragon tripod suddenly shouted, "Gold Dragon, protect boss!" Dark Dragon God also roared out. The dragon Salyer struggled free from Long Fei's hand and directly flew out to block the Thunder God Hammer. However, Dragon Salyer's current level was too low. Moreover, the power of Dragon God's ancestor was restricted. Even if Long Fei was not strong, he basically could not release his power and could only slightly block it. Bam! The Dragon Salyer flew out heavily and landed tens of kilometers away. Gold Dragon, boss is relying on you. Roar! 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 The 8 dragons were enraged. Golden light spewed out in all directions as the golden dragon protected Long Fei's entire body. The heavy hammer smashed down, striking Long Fei's abdomen. Boom! The lightning pierced through his body, directly bursting out from his back. Puff! A mouthful of blood sprayed out. Long Fei also heavily smashed onto the ground. His body suddenly bounced and flew out once again. The thunderous beast ferociously smashed down with another hammer attack. Bang! Long Fei's body, as though it was being torn apart by lightning, was once again blasted flying. He smashed onto the ground, flipped rapidly in the air, and then fell down. Bam! A deep crater formed on the ground. The crater was cracked like a spider web. Incomparable savagery. Long Fei's life and death was unknown. The Thunder Beast was enraged and roared, Seal, Laozi, come again, come more F*** king back to Seal, Laozi. The 18 generations of ancestors were all filled with rage. At the same time, Pan Sheng's mouth hooked up coldly and disdainfully said, "Long family? He's just trash. Holy ninth rank. Ha ha ha." Had the current Long family fallen to such a state? How lowly! Pan Sheng laughed coldly. He was shocked by Long Fei's appearance. The appearance of the dragon, Salyer, shocked him. However, Long Fei's performance was too weak. It made him laugh. He had thought that Long family at least had a little bit of strength, but now he thought, "I have overestimated the Long family trash and have completely become a trash clan." Ha ha ha. Pan Sheng laughed loudly, looked at Long Fei, who was in the deep pit, and laughed coldly. "Right now, you don't even have the qualifications to be killed by me. Long family. Ha ha ha." He mocked loudly. At this moment, Man Tuolyuo anxiously rushed out. "Young Master Long!" Chen Tianfei also shouted out, "Boss!" The four of them charged out madly, almost at the same time. A cold voice came from the jungle. "Do it!" Over at the Murong King's manor, Murong Tian walked out of the forest, smiled slightly, and said, "Kill!" A cold chill swept out. Without waiting for Man Tuolyuo and the others to get close, they were stopped by 6 black figures. Chen Tianfei's gaze darkened, and he roared loudly, "Scram!" Boom! He exerted all of the strength in his body, and as soon as he said those words, he immediately sent his fists smashing forward. It was also at this moment the killer had made his move. Their cultivations were all in the same color of arrogant immortal state, and the pressure they released was unbearable to Fatty Chun. His holy armor fairy vein had not cultivated to a state where he could resist the pressure. His body sank. "Damn fat pig, just lie down obediently." A sword attack came, directly locking Chen Tianfei's throat. The power of heavy stones. Lei let out a loud roar, slammed his right hand on the ground, causing the rocks on the ground to shatter and his right arm to fiercely suck in air. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Asterisk hundreds of rocks formed a huge arm and punched out. "Get out of my way!" Bam! A arrogant, immortal state killer was immediately sent flying. Man Tuolyuo held onto a pill and suddenly threw it. Xiao Ying. Xiao Ying's right leg swept out, sending the pill flying. It exploded on top of one of the berserker immortal killer's head, and fine powder fell down. Ah, ah, ah. Xiao Ying did not give him any chance to react. He rushed forward, and with a burst of force from his violent immortal foundation, both of his fists exploded and smashed outwards. Boom. Bam. 3 arrogant, immortal state killers were taken care of. However, on the other side, the people from the Murong Prince's manor slowly walked out. They were closer to Long Fei than Man Tuolyuo, and now they were stopped by the killers from the 9 Business Union. "Miss, over there." Xiao Ying pointed at Murong Tian, who was in the distance, and anxiously asked, "Miss, what do we do?" Chen Tianfei roared, "Murong Tian, if you dare touch my boss, I'll F***K your entire family." Not waiting for them to finish, 3 more killers fell. "Deal with that poison master first." The 6 of them moved at the same time. Chen Tianfei gritted his teeth until it made a cracking sound and said, "You guys follow behind me. I'm going to charge these bastards to their deaths." Ah! Suddenly, Chen Tianfei used his body to block a sword. The sword tip had already pierced into his chest, causing blood to flow out. As though he did not feel any pain, he rushed forward heavily. The sword pierced his chest. Fatty Chen hugged the killer, his rage boiling. "Follow behind me. Charge." Ah! Fatty Chen was going crazy. Lei Zhong's huge arms swept out, forcing the assassins to retreat. Man Tuolyuo did not hesitate at all and rushed out behind the fatty. The one they wanted to save now was Long Fei. At the same time, the people from the Murong mansion were already standing on the edge of the deep pit. Murong Tian looked at Long Fei, who was in the hole. His entire body was covered in blood, his back was charred by the lightning, and his body was badly mangled. Ha ha ha. Long Fei, you have that day as well. Ha ha ha. Murong Tian laughed wildly. Humiliate me at the auction? It caused me to lose my qualifications to pass the entrance exam and caused my Murong mansion to lose face. Now, it's Laozi's turn. The corners of Murong Tian's eyes turned cold, with killing intent in his eyes. His hands moved and instantly transformed into beast claws, leaping heavily into the air and ruthlessly smashing down towards Long Fei's head. No. Man Tualuo was so scared that his whole body was trembling and his voice was shaking. Boss, young Master Long. He was too far away. He couldn't make it in time. Strongest upgrade system. Suddenly, Long Fei's eyes suddenly opened, as the fairy stone root frantically replenished his power of celestial. At this moment, the aura around his body began to ignite, and as his gaze shifted, he looked at Murong Tian, who had descended from the sky, and with a flick of his body, he let out a heavy shout. Die. Chapter 5. Thank you for your great support. Thank you. 8_8419/2357010. Only one person frowned, slightly, Pan Sheng. Pan Sheng's face slightly trembled, and thought to himself, could it be that this trash discovered Lei Mo's weakness? From beginning to end, Lei Mo did not move a single bit, and from beginning to end, his legs had not moved even an inch. Why? Long Fei kept thinking about this question when he was in a coma. The chains of the gravity demon. What's Lei Mo's? It was the earth binding beneath his feet. However, these were just Long Fei's guesses to test and see if his guess was right. There was only one way to personally test it under his feet. The elder beside Pan Sheng furrowed his brows and asked, Young master, could it be? Pan Sheng slightly said, Don't be anxious. Take a look first. He is from the Long family, and this Lei Mo is from the Long family. It is normal for him to know the thunder god's weakness. However, the corner of Pan Sheng's mouth slightly curled, revealing a trace of disdain, and said with a cold smile, He's only a waste of the holy 9th rank, so even if he discovers Lei Mo's weakness, it's still useless. With just his strength alone, he can't hurt a single hair on Lei Mo's body. He wasn't worried. On the contrary, he was still very excited, because once Lei Mo got enraged, it would be a power explosion that would destroy the world. Even more people would die, and this would cause an even greater sensation. Pan Sheng smiled slightly. No one can stop the rise of my sky-separating clan. No one. In the ground, Long Fei was right under Lei Mo's feet. What a strong power of earth, the Yen Huang ancestor exclaimed, and said, Brat, your guess is correct. This Lei Mo is bound by the power of the earth. This is the earth's seal. In the past few days, he had been constantly drawing upon the lightning to strike him. He only wanted to use his power to break the binding force of the earth, but he has been in the seal for too long, and because the restriction of the power of earth is too strong, he did not succeed. After pausing for a few seconds, Yen Huang ancestor said, I have to say, your Long family has a genius seal. It's invulnerable. If it wasn't for the fact that the power of the ancient code lost its balance, this Lei Mo would never be able to break through the great earth seal in his lifetime. Long family. He was once the paragon of the Tianwu continent. Their strength was unmatched. If not for the arrival of the mysterious calamity, the Long family would still be the ruler of the continent, and there would not be any heavenly around. Long Fei could feel the thick earth energy around him, and said, Ancestor, how can we inflict heavy injuries on him? Yan Huang ancestor laughed. It's very simple, his soul. Huh. Long Fei was startled and said, Why didn't I think of that? Ha ha ha. If his feet can't move, then the area under his feet is his absolute weakness. And then Long Fei roared sinisterly, Dragon Salyer, come! Shwa. The dragon salyer that was stuck on the ground received Long Fei's summons and pierced straight into the ground, flying back and forth before landing in his hands. Is he cocky? Arrogant, right? I'll stab you. With the dragon salyer in hand, Long Fei thrust the blade under Lei Mo's feet. Swish. Lei Mo's legs hurt, and he immediately knew that Long Fei was still at the soles of his feet. His heart was filled with boundless fury. Damnable thing! Go to hell! The thunder godhammer in his hand moved, and a huge amount of thunder and lightning energy struck down, reaching deep into the ground. Yan Huang ancestor immediately said, Brat, dangerous! Lei Mo could not attack Long Fei, but he could hit the ground, and the power of the lightning that he released was extremely ferocious. If he was struck, Long Fei's mental state would definitely be severely injured. Boom! The lightning that pierced through everything seemed to have struck Long Fei's back as his mind and sea of consciousness rolled around, feeling extremely uncomfortable. However, he did not stop there. He shouted, Come on, chop this daddy to death. More than that, the soles of his feet could not move, and that was Lei Mo's weakness. However, floating life, table of contents, no windows, A++ 100 million was simply too massive. It was impossible to kill them in a short period of time. In the distance, Pan Sheng laughed complacently. Lei Mo is about to go crazy. First, 8_19/2357011. Indeed, Lei Mo was about to go crazy. The lightning on his body became denser and denser as his body turned crimson. Thunderclouds covered the sky and shrouded the entire Thunder Mountains. It was like the end of the world. Rumble, rumble. From the thunderclouds, endless thunder rumbled. Crack! A bolt of lightning flashed past, followed by a heavy downpour of rain amidst the thunderclouds. Lei Mo looked up to the sky and said solemnly, 3 million years ago, the seal gave me a chance to live. What do you mean by giving me a chance to live? None of the people from the Long family are good. It's been a full 3,600,000 years for me, dog. Today, I will use your life as a sacrifice to the heavens. I will make the Long family pay. Rumble. The sky darkened as heavy rain poured down. The ground was covered with water, and the rain began to crazily seep into the ground. In the surrounding forest, there was also water. However, no one was aware of the danger. F***CK. A drop of water fell on top of Long Fei's head. His heart sank as he cursed, This guy? It's time for the big move. Immediately, the idea was linked to Vibrant Heaven, who mechanically sounded out loud and said, Fatty man tualuo, Xiao Ing, Lei Chong, quickly run. Everyone run. Run to a place with no water. Hurry up. His voice was incomparably urgent. The thunderclouds in the sky didn't come down with thunder, but with rain. What can water do? Who can conduct electricity? Lei Mo's attack range was probably only a few kilometers just now, and the shock waves had reached 100 kilometers, but this time his attack range was at least 100 times. The shock wave covered over 10,000 kilometers. The closer they got, the faster they would die. Terrifying. Extremely terrifying. Long Fei did not dare think about it and shouted again, Run! Everyone run! Man Tualuo looked at Qin Tianfei and said, Let's go. Qin Tianfei didn't think about it as he pulled Lei Zhong back and said, Boss told us to go, let's go. Lei Zhong didn't understand. Why did they leave? Lei Mo did not attack again. You want to leave? It's not that easy. Leave your life behind for me. The assassins of the 9 Business Union did not let them go and directly blocked their path of retreat. F***CK. Fatty Chun was infuriated. Boss had once instructed me not to use it unless it's absolutely necessary. This is the moment of last resort. Titan, get out. Chun Tianfei roared out, and an alloy armor appeared beside him. The alloy armor instantly activated. Just like a level-up robot, his body was also multiplied by several times, and his whole body was chubby, but his strength, however, was extremely terrifying. His body transformed. His entire being was like a robot that had been fused into an animated cartoon. Fatty Chun immediately transformed into his original form. This was the alloy armor that Long Fei had created for him. Seeing an assassin coming at him, Fatty Chen's eyes were filled with rage. He roared, "Die!" His right foot shook violently. The defensive power on his body immediately transformed into attack. This was the attribute that belonged to his alloy armor and allowed him to combine and channel his energy into an attack attribute. Bang, bang, bang. The ground split open rapidly, and the rain on the ground burst out like a fountain. Bam! One of the assassins was directly blown away, while the other one bled from his 7 orifices. He stood there motionlessly. Fatty Chun roared and cursed, F***CK. Do it again, if you have the guts. Son of a bitch. Lei was dumbfounded once again. F***CK. This is the alloy armor. Upon wearing the alloy armor, the power of spiritual level could instantly kill an expert of the arrogant immortal state. This, too awesome. Many people also saw this, and their hearts began to boil. However, this kind of alloy armor would only be able to deal with some arrogant immortal state warriors. Chun Tianfei said, "Now is not the time to be shocked. Quickly!" If it wasn't extremely dangerous, Long Fei would definitely not be so anxious. Obviously, it must be extremely dangerous, even more dangerous than the previous wave. Lei Zhong swiftly followed. However, at this moment, the surrounding people started to laugh maniacally. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. A bunch of cowards. They're useless. They only know how to run. Isn't it just rain? Was there a need to be so scared? Even if Lei Mo is powerful, this place is 100 miles away. You did not manage to reach him just now, but you can still reach him now? Trash that can't make it to the stage will forever remain as trash, other than Chun Tianfei and the rest who were trying to escape. Not many people ran away, because they felt that no matter how strong Lei Mo was, it was impossible for his power to spread out beyond 100 kilometers. Thus, they mocked Long Fei for being a coward, and mocked him like a stray dog. Run! Wang Xintian shouted again. Many of them laughed out loud. Brat, you think that we are all like you? As timid as a mouse. That's what the people of the South Horizon region are like. Ha ha ha. They ran away without even fighting. What Long Family's people are not afraid of the heavens, are not afraid of the earth, are not afraid of death. I think the people who are most afraid of death are the people of Long Family. Exactly. Look at that Long Fei. He hasn't even fought yet, and he has already escaped to who knows where. Now he's telling us to run? We aren't trash from the South Horizon region. Hearing these discussions, Long Fei laughed bitterly. It's so hard to be a good person just because you want to be one. Hee. Looks like this world really is one. Long Fei's heart tensed up. His teeth chattered loudly. He should not have let Fei Er try. Fei Er smiled and said, "Master, don't worry." Her face was pale. She had already reached the limit of absorbing the lightning. This was only the first step, and the most difficult part was absorbing the lightning. If they didn't absorb it, the lightning would reopen and her soul would also be destroyed by the power of over 100 lightning bolts. Feyre was startled. "I'll let you see my strength." "Ah, the power of the Elf King. Open for me." Feyre was enraged as well, and her body exploded with a power that Long Fey had never seen before. A rainbow-colored light radiated from her body. A shadow of a crown flashed above her head. Yen Huang Ancestor's mind sank as he immediately said, "A descendant of the Elf King." At the same time, the 100 bolts of lightning around her slowly descending at the same time. They entered into Feyre's body crazily as she madly absorbed the trillions of strands of lightning energy. Buzz. Bam. The Thunder Dragon rod exploded under the pressure. Only the pearl with Feyre's body was left rolling about. The power inside the bead was also rolling. At the same time, bit by bit, Feyre was transforming crazily. Third, 8_8419/2357013. The shocking power exploded out, but Lei Mo was unable to resist the sword intent of the Pangu sword. The Pangu sword. He was once a supreme artifact of the immortal domain. As the sky-separating clan was crushed, the Pangu sword was also defeated by the Zhuge sword. With the Zhuge sword destroyed, the strongest sword in immortal domain would probably be the strongest Pangu sword in Pan Sheng's hands. Even Lei Mo's Thunder God Hammer could not withstand it. Furthermore, Pan Sheng's cultivation was extremely terrifying. He had released all of the Pangu sword's power, making Lei Mo unable to resist. Just as Pan Sheng had said, he had already used up all of his power of thunder and lightning. Whether it was defense or attack, his strength had been reduced to the lowest. Crack! Another long string of damage figures floated up. Long Face secretly clucked his tongue. Damn, just what kind of background does this sky-separating clan guy have? This kind of injury is simply, he's invincible. He couldn't help but be shocked. He could only deal 30,000 to 40,000 damage, but Pan Sheng could deal 5 million damage. No way. No matter what, we can't let him steal the boss. Long Fei's heart sank. See you soon. Long Fei moved. Underground drilling technique. Shwa. He directly broke through the ground, held onto the dragon salyer with one hand, and roared loudly, "Dark Dragon God slash." The blade slashed down. Caret half /float *life. Boom. Dark Dragon God's blade, aura, came crashing down. It was also at the same time, the sword intent of the Pangu sword came crashing down. Fourth, 8_8419/2357014. Dragon Salyer against Pangu sword. Dragon Salyer against Pangu sword. This was the first time Long family and sky-separating clan had clashed. The Dark Dragon God's blade, aura roared, it roared, and was extremely tyrannical. The sword intent of the Pangu sword was filled with the power of the ancient giant's Pangu Genesis. The moment the two forces clashed, rumble, rumble, rumble. Tens of thousands of lightning bolts rumbled as the two powerful forces continuously pressed against each other, colliding against each other, extending for 10,000 miles. The scene was even more sensational than when Lei Mo turned the world upside down. Pan Sheng smiled. "You overestimate your capabilities. Get on the ground." The strength from his body dropped again. Boom. The sky-opening immortal root in his body moved as he channeled all of his strength, releasing his heaven-opening sword intent to its peak. Crack! The dense dark dragon god, sword Qi, started to shatter. In just half a second, Long Fei's arms were trembling and his palm was splitting apart. The sword intent on the Pan-Gu sword was too strong. He couldn't stop it at all. Wang puffed. The illusory image of the dark dragon god was slashed into pieces as it dissipated. The powerful sword intent instantly crushed Long Fei's mind, and even the protective golden dragon did not have enough time to protect him. Long Fei spat out a mouthful of blood. His body fell from the sky like a kite with its string cut, heavily hitting the ground and rolling around in the air. Her face was pale. There was an indescribable pain all over his body. The power of the sky splitting erupted within his body, and the power of the true sky splitting was extremely uncomfortable. Pan Sheng laughed coldly. Long family? Ha ha ha. Who's like a dead dog now? Pan Sheng laughed wildly, looked at Long Fei, who was like a dead dog on the ground, and said coldly with contempt, "That was then, but now my sky-separating clan is about to rise again, to become the #1 clan in the Sky Martial Continent. I want sky-separating clan to once again stand at the peak of this world." Ha ha ha. Pan Sheng laughed out arrogantly. Everyone began to discuss. Sky-separating clan? The oldest family in the Sky Martial Continent was once a defense tribe of the Sky Martial Continent. They were suppressed twice, once by the Dragon Clan, and the other time was a Long family that had returned from the prehistoric plains. Now that the Sky-separating clan has reappeared, after 1,000,000 years, just how powerful is his power? That Long Fei, it became a joke. Ha ha ha. To serve as a foil for the appearance of the sky-separating clan. That's right, the previous Long family was awesome. What about now? The South Horizon region is already a wasteland. Everyone began to mock him. He was excited about the appearance of the sky-separating clan. Now, they were even more certain that the one who saved them was the sky-separating clan, the lofty Pan Sheng. Huff, huff. Panting heavily, Long Fei stood up from the ground. Looking at the haughty and arrogant Pan Sheng, he asked softly, "Is this the power of the sky-separating clan?" Yan Huang ancestor said, "Brat, don't act recklessly. Your current cultivation is not his match at all. Moreover, although the Dragon Salyer has leveled up, it is still only in the 3rd realm, and is unable to compare with the Pan-Gu sword of the Peak realm. If you go and risk it all again, the ancestor of Dark Dragon God will suffer heavy injuries and be difficult to repair. This will be even more difficult for the Dragon Salyer to level up in the future." Yan Huang ancestor was worried that Long Fei would go crazy again. Long Fei slightly said, "Don't worry, I won't do anything stupid." In that previous exchange of moves, he could already feel the anger of the ancestor of Dark Dragon God, because a mere handful of Pan-Gu sword was bullying him, making him angry. He was furious because of his current cultivation level, and also because a mere sky-separating clan dared to be so impudent and angry. The strength of the ancestor of Dark Dragon God became stronger as the Dragon Salyer increased in strength. The higher the level of the Dragon Salyer, the more power he would receive. Right now, it was only the 3rd plane. If he reached the Great Perfection realm, what was a mere Pan-Gu sword worth? A single slash could shatter it. Long Fei could clearly feel the anger of the ancestor of Dark Dragon God. Ancestor of Dark Dragon God's voice exploded inside of Long Fei's mind and said, "Hurry up and bring out the Dragon Salyers. Level increase. I want to kill him." Very unhappy, very angry. It was the first time he had felt so bad. At this moment, Pan Sheng's attitude became even more arrogant. Looking at Long Fei, who was on the ground, he sneered, "Long family, do you want to come again? Back then, your ancestors crushed my sky-separating clan. Right now, your Long family. Humph, you don't even have the qualifications to be killed by me." Then, Pan Sheng stared at Lei Mo and laughed coldly. How useless are the people of Long family? It's just that trash like you is able to live under the Long family's seal. Now, go to hell. Just now, in his mind, he received a message. The heavenly hall of immortals elder had arrived. It was time to end it. He wanted to wait until he was a heavenly. Then, Pan Sheng stared at Lei Mo, and the power of the immortal opening root on his body exploded. Wong, wong, wong! Just at this moment, 9 illusionary shadows of Pan Gu's sword rushed out from his back. Crack! 9 swords combine into one. Chop for me! Shwa! The 9 heaven-splitting swords flew straight up into the sky, instantly condensed and formed an incomparably gigantic sword. Like an outer space sword, it smashed straight towards Lei Mo's head. Long Fei did not stop them. He clenched his fists tightly as he watched the large treasured sword descending from the sky. His heart sank. Lei Mo looked into the sky and roared, "Long Wushan, you owe me, you owe me. You said that I can live. You lied to me." Long family, even if I become a ghost, I won't let you all off. Rumble. His sword descended from the top of his head to the center of his mind. His mind was shattered. His health point had also bottomed out in an instant, and the damage from this sword strike. His performance had exploded. Lei Mo. He never thought that he would die in the sky-separating clan. He thought that he would lose his balance due to the ancient code, and was bound by the breaking through the seal. The power of the Long family's earth seal was beyond his imagination. No matter how hard he tried, he could not break free of the seal's restraints. He was unwilling, because the person who placed his seal here had once promised him that he wouldn't die, he would live. However, Lei Mo roared in his heart. He was unwilling to die just like that. Long Wushan, Long Wushan, Long Wushan. The 3 words, Long Wushan, reverberated in the sky for a long time. The look in Lei Mo's eyes was unwilling to accept this, but his body suddenly collapsed, and his feet were still tightly bound by the earth seal. Everyone in the Thunder Mountains was shocked. At the same time, the 2 elders of the Heavenly Hall of Immortals rushed over, and seeing Lei Mo being killed, they became extremely excited. Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! Baidu search. Half afloat, the first demon slayer has appeared. The real demon slayer has finally appeared. Long Fei stood quietly at the side, his eyes slowly closing. Explode! Chapter 5. Tomorrow, he was going to go berserk. With a foundation of 8 chapters, he was going to charge for 10 chapters. 8_19/23570015. Closing his eyes, Long Fei looked excited. Closing his eyes, Long Fei looked excited. Being crushed down by the Pan Gu sword, he was in no hurry to attack Lei Mo. Instead, he waited quietly, because he had already dealt damage to Lei Mo. So no matter who it was that killed Lei Mo, he would gain experience and receive a huge amount of damage. As huge body fell down, the system sounded out, causing Long Fei's heart to thump loudly. Release your striking energy value. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing Lei Mo for gaining an experience point, power of celestial point, energy values point, 1 point. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining the 2nd stage Thunder Immortal Root. Do you want to fuse it? Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining Lightning Element Power. You wish to fuse it? Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining the Immortal Stage Divine. equipment, Heavenly Thunder Spear. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining Myriad Thunder Spear technique. Do you wish to learn it? Congratulations to player Long Fei. The system crazily sounded out a notification sound. It was extremely violent. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining Lei Mo. Rumble. The moment this notification sound rang out, the broken 18 levels of hell started to operate, directly absorbing Lei Mo, who was lying on the ground. At the same time, a ray of light landed on Lei Mo's body and exploded, covering his entire body. Next, second level of the infernal realm. The light of the scissors in the infernal realm lit up. Lei Mo's enormous body suddenly sat up and woke up. His expression was somewhat different from the beginning, but he looked at his hands in shock, then looked around him and muttered, "I'm not dead." At this moment, the gravity troll laughed out loud and said, "Lei Mo, long time no see." "Huh. Old Zhong." Lei Mo's expression shook. The idea immediately sensed the existence of the gravity troll and cried out in shock, "Why are you here too? Weren't you sent by the Long family seal to some mysterious space in the South Horizon region? What the hell is going on?" The gravity troll began to laugh loudly and said, "Like you, I was also killed by the Long family's seal and also by the Long family's people. We were all saved by the people of the Long family. Do you know where this is?" Lei Mo's expression changed slightly as he said, "I don't know." How would he know where this place was if he hadn't gone to hell before? The gravity troll laughed. 18 levels of hell. Huh. Lei Mo sank and said, "Then are we still dead? How do you say that it was the people from the Long family who saved us?" The gravity troll laughed and said, "No, it's true that this is the 18th level of hell, but we're not dead because... Boss, how are you doing? Young Master Long, are you all right? Man Tuoluo, Chun Tianfei, and the other three ran back. Seeing that Long Fei's body was covered in wounds, Fatty Chun was very unhappy. He looked at Pan Sheng, who was in the air, and shouted, "You're also an evil slayer. What's so special about that?" Pan Sheng coldly glanced at Chun Tianfei and said, "You don't even have the qualifications to speak to me. And you, Long family, ha ha ha." The Long family that is on the verge of death, the South Horizon region of the trash land. Pan Sheng laughed disdainfully. He did not put Long Fei in his eyes at all, and the previous time they met, they had made it even clearer to him that Long Fei's cultivation was so weak that it could explode. Ha ha! Long Fei clenched his fists. Xiao Ying rushed forward in a very bad mood and wanted to curse, but was stopped by Long Fei. Long Fei looked at Pan Sheng, who was in midair, and said, "Whether or not you continue to linger on your last breath, we will know that right now, no matter how lowly Long family is, he would not be like some shameless people." Pan Sheng's eyebrows tightened as he gave a cold snort and said, "This is only a reason that the weak have to find for themselves." At this moment, the elder of the Tong Tian Hall of Immortals walked over and said, "Sky-separating clan. The Pan clan is powerful indeed. They have been in seclusion for 1,000,000 years. Once they emerge, the entire world will be shocked." "Good, good, good. You should be the first demon slayer in the Sky Martial Continent. Floating life. Table of contents. No windows. A++. Supreme God ordered me to come welcome him." The two elders were incomparably respectful. They had personally witnessed Pan Sheng killing Lei Mo. Although Lei Mo had suddenly disappeared, everyone could see that he was the one who killed Lei Mo. There was no doubt that he was the demon slayer, the first demon slayer of the Tianwu continent. First, 8_8419/2357016. The elders of the Heavenly Hall of Immortals welcome him personally. The elders of the Heavenly Hall of Immortals welcome him personally. No one knew who Pan Sheng was referring to, and everyone was shocked beyond words. Heavenly Hall of Immortals. Oh my God, isn't that an existence that stands above the God Emperor Academy? The Demon Slayer was an order given by the Heavenly Hall of Immortals. The Pan clan, with their power to open the sky, had killed a giant demon of seal on the very first day they appeared. There was no doubt that he is the Demon Slayer, the hero who saved the Sky Martial Continent. Long Fei, who has come from the Southern Domain, is just like a joke. That's right, he is nothing in front of Pan Sheng. With just one move, he was instantly flipped over. Furthermore, this is not all of Pan Sheng's strength. If he was to use his full strength, Long Fei, that brat, would have already been killed. He still has the face to say that he's young Master Pan, but I think that he's the most sinister. When the people of the Heavenly Hall of Immortals appeared, the surrounding warriors all walked out of the dense forest. Their eyes revealed a look of envy, and at the same time, fiercely looked down on Long Fei. Listening to the discussions around him, Chun Tianfei felt extremely displeased and cursed. Fuck you. If it wasn't for my boss, you guys would not even have any bones left, and yet you're still calling me Big Boss? Do you think you're even worthy? Xiao Ying was also feeling indignant for Long Fei and said, "That's right, it's fine if you don't know how to thank me, but you're still coldly saying those words right now." Humph. Although they did not know how Long Fei was able to absorb the lightning that he had shot out, nor did they know, they believed that Long Fei must have done it. However, the surrounding people laughed even more coldly. Ha ha ha. You guys are not ashamed to say these words. What did he save us from? It was obviously young Master Pan who saved us. If he could save us, why didn't he kill Lei Mo? Someone from the Southern Sky region killed Lei Mo? Are you kidding? Just now, he was flipped over by Lei Mo, and he almost couldn't get up. So why is he trying to kill Lei Mo? Save us. He almost died himself. What a shameless person. The surrounding people began to look at him with even more contempt. Xiao Ying was incomparably furious. "Young Master Long, why aren't you saying anything?" Long Fei smiled. "Why do you have to be like a dog? A dog will bite you. Could it be that you want to rush up to bite the dog?" "Kid, who are you calling a dog? Damn it, are you looking to die?" Long Fei, don't think that just because you have the God Emperor Academy as your backer, you are extraordinary. I'm afraid that you do not even have the qualifications to participate in the God Emperor Academy's examination. You are just trash at the immortal realm. Many people clamored. Long Fei's gaze turned cold. He stared at one of them and said, "I said you are a dog. Bite me if you dare. Your father is courting death. Come if you dare. So, what if you have entered the immortal realm? If you really have the guts to touch this daddy here, give it a try." In an instant, Zhang Xian counterattacked. At this moment, an elder of the Heavenly Hall of Immortals shouted in a deep voice, "Stop arguing. Many of you are all examinees of this time's God Emperor Academy. Don't waste your energy on a small piece of trash." He looked at Long Fei and said the word, "trash." Long Fei frowned. His heart was in displeasure. Another elder said, "Yesterday, the Heavenly Hall of Immortals had already sent word to the God Emperor Academy. Those who have yet to reach the spiritual level will not be qualified to participate in the examination." Does some people think that they can do whatever they want just because they have the God Emperor Academy's principal as their backer? Humph. In this world, everything is not possible with a backer. What you rely on is your own strength. The elder sneered. These words were said for Long Fei's ears. Long Fei was naturally clear in his heart as well. Looking at the two elders from the Tong Tian Hall of Immortals in the sky, the corner of his mouth lifted slightly as he coldly laughed. I will let you know what strength is and what qualifications you have. When the time comes, the two of you must definitely be present." "Humph!" An elder snorted and said, "Brat, words are useless. If you had the strength just now, you could have killed Lamo, right? You didn't. You're just a piece of trash from the South Horizon region. Do you understand? Long family. Ha ha! Who knows about the Long family now?" The elder said in disdain. Long Fei looked at him seriously, imprinted his appearance into his mind, and smiled. "I'll remember you." The elder completely ignored him and said respectfully to Pan Sheng, "Young Master Pan, follow me back to the Tong Tian Hall of Immortals. Supreme God wants to see you. Don't be angry because of a trash." Pan Sheng smiled lightly and said, "Thank you, elders." "Long family brat. Back then your Long family's people crushed my sky-separating clan. From today onwards, I will use the same method to crush you. Don't worry. I won't kill you. I will slowly play you to death. From today onwards, anyone who is related to this kid better break away from their relationship. Otherwise, I will crush them together. Dog. Watch how I play you to death." Pan Sheng's tone was extremely tyrannical. Extreme arrogance. And then Pan Sheng shouted, "Sky-separating clan, hide." His men instantly disappeared from the spot. He then smiled at the two elders. "Elders, lead the way." Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. As expected of the young master of the sky-separating clan. He's crazy enough. He's tyrannical enough. Don't worry. From today onwards, you will be a member of the Heavenly Hall of Immortals. Whoever dares to go against you will be going against the entire Heavenly Hall of Immortals. The elder glanced at Long Fei from the corner of his eyes, laughed coldly, and said, "A mere chill Wandao. Not enough. Ha ha ha. Boss, I'm very unhappy. I'm not in a good mood too." Xiao Ying and Fatty Chen's faces were filled with anger. Those warriors who were watching him mocked him with their faces. They even stood far away as if they were afraid that they would have anything to do with Long Fei. At this moment, Lei Zhong looked at Long Fei and frowned. "Young Master Long, I'm sorry." He was also slowly retreating to keep a distance between himself and Long Fei. Fatty Chen immediately shouted, "Young Master Lei, what do you mean?" Xiao Ying and Man Tuoyuo also looked at him. Long Fei laughed bitterly. "I'm fine." Lei Zhong said slowly, "My God Emperor City has a mission to complete the wilderness. I need to become a demon slayer. I also need to enter the God Emperor Academy. Otherwise, the first demon slayer had appeared. If it was really as Pan Sheng had said, then he would definitely be suppressed by the sky-separating clan, the God Emperor Academy, and even the Heavenly Hall of Immortals. His path would be extremely difficult, and he might even die. He had no other choice. Everyone's path was different. He carried too many things on his shoulders, so there couldn't be the slightest mistake." Long Fei didn't blame Lei Zhong. Watching him slowly retreat, he let out a deep breath and said, "Even more tribulation is just an experiential learning for me. I will step on any tribulation. Sky-separating clan, Heavenly Hall of Immortals. Wait for Lousy. Second, 8_8419/2357017." The news of Lamo being killed had practically spread across the entire immortal domain in a short one day. The news of Lamo being killed had practically spread across the entire immortal domain in a short one day. The seal moved. All the demons came out. The demonic flames in the west soared to the sky like raging flames. At this time, the birth of the first demon slayer made everyone heave a sigh of relief, as if they had seen hope. Moreover, most importantly, this person was once one of the guardian families of the Sky Martial Continent, sky-separating clan. It could even be said that he even knew a 3-year-old child. The sky-separating clan is truly worthy of being called the sky-separating clan. They have lived in seclusion for 1,000,000 years, and once they emerge, the world will be shocked. There is hope for the Tianwu continent. The Pan clan is truly powerful. I didn't expect them to be the guardians of our Tianwu continent. Young Master Pan is too handsome. His strength is incomparable to when he killed Lei Mo with one slash. Young Master Pan has already become an honorary elder of the Heavenly Hall of Immortals. He will appear in the God Emperor Academy in a few days. From the street end to the street end, whether it was the pedestrians or the customers in the tavern, everyone was talking about the #1 demon slayer, sky-separating clan, Pan Sheng. This was just a civilian conversation. However, in the upper echelons of God Emperor City, Li Clan get rid of all contact with the Fengyuan Merchant Union. If they want to work together again, they will have to sever their relationship with Long Fei. Otherwise, they will not be protected by the imperial family in the God Emperor City. Don't get in any contact with the Fengyuan Merchant Union. No one is allowed to buy more elixirs from the Fengyuan Merchant Union. Long Fei was too dazzling in the auction. It could be said he represented the Fengyuan Merchant Union, and as long as they had a relationship with the Fengyuan Merchant Union, all their relationships would be severed quickly. Business. The Fengyuan Merchant Unions, the pill shops, the weapons shops, and all kinds of shops were densely packed with signboards at first, but now they had become like a flock of birds. The business was extremely poor, and it was even worse than heavily injured 9 Business Union. Within a day, the Fengyuan Merchant Union had lost nearly 5,000 fairy stones. Within a day, a new merchant union had taken advantage of this situation. Pan Family Merchant Union. It was as if his lightning-fast rise had taken over the entire God Emperor City market within a day. It was all because of Pan Sheng. Right now, the Pan clan was simply too terrifying. The sensation Pan Sheng becoming the first demon slayer brought was unparalleled, and the sky-separating clan rose to the top almost within a day. Everyone was afraid. They were all trying to please him. This was because of what Pan Sheng had said in the Thunder Mountains. Anyone who is related to the Long family will be suppressed. It was just a sentence. Let those people be cut off from the Fengyuan Merchant Union. Murong Mansion. Murong Fenglei laughed loudly. Fengyuan Merchant Union? Long Fei. Ha ha ha. No matter how arrogant he is right now. So what if he has the backing of the previous headmaster? To be crushed by lightning within a day. This feels great. Ha ha. Murong Fenglei could not help but become excited. Murong Tian was the same. At the same time, his heart was shaken because the impact of the first demon slayer was far beyond his imagination. He also wanted to crush Long Fei. And if he could think of something that could cause Long Fei to be unable to breathe, he could clench his fists tightly. Demon Slayer, the second demon slayer, must be me. Ha ha ha. Let's see if he still dares to be arrogant. The boulder that was in Chen Xiaoshan's heart was finally lifted. He no longer had to be afraid of Long Fei, and upon hearing the news that Long Fei was being crushed, he became extremely excited. Chen Yueren said, "Big brother, this brat was defeated by Pan Sheng's sword. He is like a dead dog. His arrogant anger was immediately extinguished." "This is great," Chen Xiaoshan said. "This is what happens when one is too arrogant." They thought that with Qiu Wandao's support, they would be extraordinary, and now they are going to be arrogant again. Pan Sheng is a heavenly hall of immortals behind all of them. Who would dare to make the heavenly hall of immortals their enemy? South Horizon region? Ha ha ha. Trash will always be trash. Chen Yueren also laughed out loud. I heard that there is a new standard in the God Emperor Academy's assessment. Those who have not reached the spiritual level will not have the qualifications to participate in the assessment. Long Fei, this brat, is still in the immortal realm. He doesn't even have the qualifications to participate in the assessment. Laughing my ass off, Chen Xiaoshan said, there are still 3 days until God Emperor Academy's assessment. We would like to see how he will participate in the assessment. What else is there to test for? Get the hell back to the South Horizon region. Chen Yueren said with a look of despise. Some ridiculed, some despised, and some drew a clear line between them and Long Fei. All of these were nothing to Long Fei. On the contrary, it allowed him to see more people clearly. Late at night, in the backyard of God's Phoenix Pavilion, a huge table that was carried out of a long restaurant was filled with all sorts of dishes. Eat, eat, eat. These are your favorite dishes, Fu Shishan said with a smile. Fatty Chen liked to eat it the most. In the past, he would always drool when he saw a big chicken leg, but after returning from the Thunder Mountains for 3 days, he couldn't eat a single bit. The rage in his heart was stifling, and he felt extremely displeased. Every time they walked down the street, someone would point at them, say he's okay, but it would not do to say Long Fei. It was the same for Xiaoying and Man Tuoluo. The two of them also looked depressed. They all knew that if not for Long Fei, how would Pan Sheng be able to kill him? But now, all the benefits were obtained by Pan Sheng alone. What about Long Fei? Everyone laughed at him in disdain, saying that he was overestimating himself, that he was despicable and sinister in order to steal Pan Sheng's contribution. Some even told him to just *CK off back to the South Horizon region. It was really displeasing. Long Fei smiled faintly, picked up her chopsticks, and said, "Everyone eat, don't frown and frown." Xiaoying said, "Young Master Long, aren't you angry when people talk to you like that?" Fatty Chen followed up, "Boss, do you want us to find that Pan fella and bring him into the alley, put on the gunny sack, and beat him to death with a few king sticks?" Xiaoying said, "Do you think that he is you, and yet he was smashed to death by a few sticks? Do you know how strong his cultivation is?" Fatty Chen was stunned for a moment before he said, Man Tuoluo looked at Long Fei and said softly, "Right now, the most important thing is not your opponent Pan Sheng, but your cultivation. The rules of the examination have already been announced today, and only the cultivation of the spiritual level is required to participate." This rule was also targeted at Long Fei. It hadn't happened before. So how did he suddenly get an extra rule when he knew that Long Fei was in the immortal realm? Was obviously targeting Long Fei. Fatty Chen also calmed down and said, "That's right, boss. Without the second-level fairy route, you won't be able to break through." Fu Shishan immediately said, "I'll go by the second-level fairy route for you." Xiaoying said, "Sister Yinshan, right now there is no one who can do business with the Fengyuan Merchant Union, even if you want to buy it. I'm afraid no one can sell it. This sky-separating clan wants to kill everyone, to force us to death. Strongest upgrade system, *CK. How preposterous." Fu Tianlong's entire body was covered in mud as he angrily walked in. Fu Shishan asked, "What's wrong?" Fu Tianlong said, "I'm going to buy a dish, but you're not buying it. You said you're not doing business with the Fengyuan Merchant Union. Isn't that just forcing people to their deaths?" Third, 8_8419/2357018. As long as the boss was strong, it would drop the strongest item. The Pangu sword, right? Ha ha. Long Fei laughed sinisterly in his heart and said, "It's mine now." And then Long Fei moved, sat cross-legged, and said, "Ancestor, protect me. I want to integrate with the Lightning Immortal Foundation." Yan Huang Ancestor replied, "Understood. The Thunder Immortal Root that erupted from Lamo's body was also the second-level fairy route. It looked like a fist-sized thundercloud covered with lightning. Before he had absorbed the lightning immortal root, Long Fei looked at the idea among the power of the lightning and said, "Fusion! Ding! Are you sure you want to fuse with the lightning element?" "Confirmed." Buzz. A buzzing sound rang out, and the crackling sound of thunder and lightning began to appear within Long Fei's body. The lightning element exploded on his mind, almost in an instant. Boom! One of the bronze doll in the 9 great immortal spirits' mind suddenly moved, directly fusing with the thunder element's power. Long Fei. Holy sh*T. It's me that's fusing with the power of thunder element. Not you. You fused. What the heck are you fusing with me for? It was completely uncontrollable as the bronze statue fused with it. At this moment, the body of the bronze doll that had fused with the thunder element began to glow. Thunder and lightning boomed, and the aura of its power became even stronger. Ding! Thunder Copperman, break through! The system sounded out. Long Fei was puzzled. A breakthrough? The 9 great immortal spirit still need to break through? Fine. Since you've made a breakthrough, I won't say anything. If you can't release enough power next time, I definitely won't let you go. Long Fei muttered. Then, I fused with the lightning immortal foundation. Ding! Are you sure? Confirmed. The thunderclouds vanished, and a bolt of thunder exploded within his body, spreading to every corner of his body and even his limbs and bones. It was incomparably intense. Fairy Stone Root S were far from reaching the power of Celestial. It could be considered an auxiliary immortal root. However, the lightning immortal root was different. Lightning had the power to destroy the heavens and the earth. It was an attack-type immortal foundation. With powerful strength, it was even harder to fuse them. The more powerful one was, the harder it was to fuse them, and the longer it would take. An hour passed. Long Fei continued. 2 hours passed. Long Fei continued. When Long Fei was fusing with the lightning immortal roots, both and the gravity troll in the 18th level of hell were seriously watching him, especially Lei Mo. His expression was somewhat moved as he said, "Endure the pain that an ordinary person cannot endure. The young lord is indeed the young lord. He is too powerful." He was Lei Mo, and he knew about the power inside the lightning immortal root. Fu Tianlong walked over and asked, "What's wrong?" Fu Xishan opened the purse and saw 5 immortal crystals inside. Fu Tianlong was also dumbfounded. "Young Master Long, this brat is truly extraordinary. I was the one who made things difficult for him last time. I really..." Sigh. Fu Xishan's tears flickered. Her heart was incomparably moved. To her, what the entire Fengyuan Merchant Union needed the most was the first 5 immortal crystals. 5 immortal crystals was equivalent to 500,000 fairy stones. And with just 5 immortal crystals, the Fengyuan Merchant Union would be able to sustain them for 1 year without doing anything. Fu Xishan secretly said, "I will definitely try my best. I can't use the martial arts training, but doing business depends not only on influence, but also on the mind. Since the creation of the God Emperor Academy, this was the most lively and also the grandest time. Previously, they only accepted 1,000 disciples. This year, other than the disciples that broke the requirement, the other 10,000 disciples were also recruited. Add in the current situation. When all demons came out, the demonic flames would soar to the sky. Every hot-blooded youth wanted to become a legendary devil slayer. Under the stir caused by the first-place demon slayer Pan Sheng, even more youths became hot-blooded and crazy. Over 100,000 people had signed up for the assessment, and the registration office had set up 100 points. Wow! So many people. Xiao Ying looked at the sea of humans and couldn't help but to be shocked. Fatty Chen's face was also filled with shock as he said, I've never seen so many people play before. This year, there's going to be so many of them. Ha ha ha. Man Tuoyuo followed beside Long Fei and asked, Your cultivation? Long Fei smiled faintly and said, Don't worry, there won't be a problem. Isn't that the kid from the South Horizon region? That's him, and that fat pig from the Chen family. They still dare to come? The assessment criteria is spiritual level. Do you have it? Lame duck from the South Horizon region. Many people in the crowd clamored. Fatty Chen was immediately angered and was about to rush up to give that person a slap, but was stopped by Long Fei and said, Don't be anxious, remember his appearance, and slowly play inside the assessment grounds. This was the registration office, and once they started fighting, they wouldn't be qualified to participate in the exam. Huh. Fatty Chen grinned and laughed. Ha ha ha. The eldest is indeed the eldest. Remember what I look like. You better look carefully, because when you enter the exam grounds later, I will take your lives. When you meet Yama, I will definitely kill all of you. The man said contemptuously. Long Fei did not say a word, and only looked at the man again. The name of the person on the death list was already imprinted on it. The auction became a sensation. Basically, all the God Emperor City-s walked to the person called Long Fei. The name Long Fei in Thunder Mountains was known to even more people. It was just that this time, it was used in ridicule as a despicable, sinister trash. However, everyone knew that Long Fei had entered the immortal realm and had not yet broken through the spiritual level. It was impossible to break through in such a short period of time. Moreover, breaking through the spiritual level would require a second-level fairy route, and it would be impossible to do so without a second-level fairy route. What do you mean mockery? You yourself are in the immortal stage. Is there a need for us to ridicule you? Exactly. Don't come here and try to be cocky with trash in the immortal stage. Any one of them is stronger than you. You think you're qualified to compete with young Master Pan? That day, I was at Thunder Mountains and even said that he was the one who saved us, so I'm not ashamed. If it wasn't for Pan Xiao who killed Lei Mo, you would have died a long time ago. Following Long Fei's words, even more sounds of ridicule sounded from the surroundings. The statistician elder also said lightly, Brat, if you don't have the spiritual level, don't waste my time. Hurry up and get lost. Scram back to the South Horizon region. Immortal Domain is not a place that a person like you can enter. Ha ha ha. They were all laughing and laughing loudly. It was as if stepping on Long Fei showed their sense of superiority. At this moment, Long Fei did not speak and directly walked to the test black stone. With a move of his palm, power of celestial rushed in, and 5 rays of light from the spiritual level flashed out. 5th level spiritual immortal stage. The 5 rays of light were incomparably dazzling. Long Fei turned and spoke coldly. Keep laughing for me. Everyone's expression changed slightly. The 5 rays of light were like 5 palms as they fiercely slapped their faces. It was fiery hot and extremely uncomfortable. Chen Tianfei also became fearless, his gaze sweeping across, and shouted, God damn it, all of you are laughing. Why aren't you laughing anymore? All of you trash. Are you even worthy of mocking my boss? A 5th stage spirit immortal was stronger than most people, and the people who mocked Long Fei earlier could no longer make a sound. As for Long Fei, he memorized their appearances in his mind. It's on the death list. In the past, he didn't kill them because they prevented him from leveling up, but now, he did not have to worry about that anymore. He needed to level up and break through. Moreover, Long Fei was jealous of evil, mocking him once. Break a leg. Mocking twice. I'm sorry, I'll send you to see the king of hell. The elder shouted, What are you arguing about? Do you still wish to participate in the examination? Huh. The elder looked at Long Fei with contempt and said, This is your identity plate. Take it. Don't think that you can be so arrogant just because you're at the 5th level of the spirit immortal stage. If you dare to cause trouble again, then you'll be disqualified. Long Fei secretly clenched his fists. Half an hour later, the statistics ended. At the right time, an elder whispered into his ear. In the distance, an old man from the sky-separating clan stood there and looked at Long Fei with a cold smile. And then the exam master coughed and said, Calm down, everyone. This year's exam is different from the previous years because there are too many people and it is divided into 10 main exam grounds. Every single examination hall has once ranked in the top 1,000. Furthermore, this 10,000 examinees will participate in the ranking competition. The ranking will also determine the cultivation resources you receive in the future, as well as some of the Academy's special rewards. Next, let's split into groups. Soon after, the gigantic black stone screen appeared on the list. Long Fei, Xiao Ying, Chen Tianfei, Man Tuoyuo had all separated. Moreover, the people who had signed up were the 4 of them in 4 different testing grounds. As for the other people who had signed up, some of the family disciples were in the same group. Chen Tianfei immediately hooted in annoyance and said, Why are the 4 of us separated while the disciples of the other families are together? The elder sneered, You can give up. I didn't force you to take the exam, so you can just scram. Smoke rose from Chen Tianfei's head as he stared at the elder. The elder smiled and said, What's wrong? Very unhappy? If you're unhappy, then just reveal it. Come on, come on. If you dare to even touch me, your qualifications will be revoked. Humph. It was very obvious that this was directed at Long Fei. Separate the 4 of them and leave them alone. Moreover, most importantly, many of the 4 of them knew each other. In order to flatter the sky-separating clan, they would all go after the 4 of them. Other than the exams, Long Fei and the others had to deal with thousands of people in the exam grounds. Obviously, this was caused by the sky-separating clan again. Long Fei pulled Chen Tianfei back and said, The more furious you are, the more it falls into his gloves. Don't you think it's just splitting into groups? Then we'll divide it up. This is even better. We won't cause any conflict. This wasn't the time to panic. Fatty had a violent personality. If he was truly angered, he would charge forward recklessly. Fatty Chen said in a deep voice, Boss, I'm really not feeling good. What is this test called? This is asking 100,000 examinees to encircle and annihilate us. It's so unfair. Long Fei said, There is no fairness in this world. If you want fairness, then use your fist to break this injustice and establish your own fairness. The more they are looked down by others, the calmer they must be. Aren't they trying to stop us from passing the exam? Then we'll use the position of first place to crush them. Long Fei explained it to the fatty, but also told it to himself, because in his heart he was even more annoyed and angry than Fatty. It was just that he didn't reveal it. If a small exam was targeted at him in such a way, it would definitely obstruct him and cause so many unfair accusations. Right now, Long Fei wanted to do one thing. A punch exploded. Fatty Chun, Xiao Ying, Man Tuoyuo nodded their heads heavily, and the group was already out. And then it was the secret plane. 10 arenas, 10 secret regions. In the past, as long as God Emperor Academy opened a secret realm for their assessment, they would be able to enter into the 10 great secret realms. These secret realms were all very special existences, or poverty, or the demon beast running amok. It was possible even for mountains of blades and seas of flames. As long as one passed the examination, that was fine. Whoever had less time would get a higher ranking and then proceed to the next round of the examination. Boss, which secret realm are you in? Fatty Chin asked. I'm in the 7th secret realm. I don't know what's going on inside. Xiaoing said, I'm at the 6th. Man Tuoyuo said, I'm at number 5. Long Fei looked at the big screen and saw himself in the last row of names and said, I am in the 10th realm. All right. The 4 of us were admitted into the God Emperor Academy together, and we fiercely slapped the faces of those people who ridiculed us to the point where they couldn't even recognize our mother. In another place, Elder Pan, we have made the arrangements according to your instructions. 10 great secret realms. The 9 great secret realms are the 1st level secret realms, and the 10th realm is the 5-level secret territory. Even if that kid is at the 5th level of the psionic immortal realm, he won't be able to last long. Ha ha ha. 8_8419/2357021. The secret realms were separated into many levels. The secret realms were separated into many levels. The lowest level, the highest, was at the 10th rank. The Tianwu continent had many secret realms, and these kinds of secret realms were all independent of each other. Some were rich in spiritual energy, and some were incomparably dangerous. This type of secret realm usually had a lower grade, with many at level 1, 2nd level, 3rd level. Secret realms were very rare, and they were rarely seen even after entering the 4th level. The 5-level secret territory had never been seen before in the history of the Sky Martial Continent. How dangerous is it inside? Even the God Emperor Academy had not been verified and had always been within the seal. And this time, activate directly. It was specifically used to crush Long Fei. What? The activation of the 5-level secret territory. Receiving the news, Qiu Wandao was instantly angered and shouted, What does Zhang Ti and I want to do? 5-level secret territory. Are you trying to kill all of those exam candidates inside? Old bastard. Others can ignore him, but we can't ignore the young master. The green-robed elder's face was also filled with anger. The 5-level secret territory really will kill people. Qiu Wandao's expression tightened and said, The Tong Tian Hall of Immortals is too much. They actually allowed the Pan clan to control the examination and even activated the 5-level secret territory. The old man said, The Pan clan is currently in the middle of the sky, and they have already sent out the news that the Supreme God is going to make Pan Sheng a true disciple. If this news is true, then the entire God Emperor Academy will have to listen to the Pan clan. It's useless to say this now. Our top priority right now is to save the young lord. Save? How can we save him? Qiu Wandao said. The 5-level secret territory has already been opened, and the young master has already entered. Then what should we do? If something happens to the young lord, how are we going to meet the lord? The old man became extremely anxious. The 5-level secret territory was not a joke. Its level of danger was unpredictable, and it could die in there at any time. Qiu Wandao was also anxious and said, Master has said before, we can't interfere with young master's test. Even if young master encounters any trouble, he can't help. Master, you might have already anticipated this day. Huh. The elder shook his head. Old man, are you saying that master's prophecy has already reached the 6th level? Qiu Wandao shook his head. I don't know. Master's cultivation is too mysterious. The last time I came back from God's Soul Mountain, he had been in closed-door training, until now. Huff. The green-robed elder exhaled and said, If the young master had injured even the tiniest bit of his skin, I would definitely not have spared the Pan clan, nor God Emperor Academy. As for the heavenly hall of immortals, Master will definitely not let it go. Long Fei did not know that the place he entered was the 5-level secret territory. He only knew that the moment he entered the arena, his body suddenly sank as system beep S continuously sounded. Ding. Power of celestial points. 300. Power of celestial points. 300. Power of celestial points. 300. The speed at which the value of the power of celestial decreased was extremely fast. Moreover, there was only Long Fei in the entire secret realm. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for coming to Shuiyu. You have obtained 100 experience points, 100 power of celestial, and a special 100 points reward. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for completing the quest Fight for First Place. Level S. Reward 1,000,000 experience points, 10,000 power of celestial, once in the celestial item lottery, skill level +1. Damn Shuiyu! It's a quest. Long Fei muttered as he looked at the gigantic snow mountain range in front of him. The cold wind that blew on his body felt like it was being sliced by knives. The pain was unbearable. Moreover, the stronger the cold wind was, the faster his power of celestial would drop its value. Pan Sheng, is this your trick again? Long Fei sneered and said, let's wait and see. Finished. Long Fei took a step forward, and it was also in that instant. Roar. With a loud roar, without giving Long Fei any time to react, a gigantic snowman beast suddenly stood up from the pile of snow and swept his palm out. Bam! Long Fei was directly swept away and spat out a mouthful of blood. Looking at the gigantic snowman demon beast, Long Fei spat out a mouthful of blood and said, God damn, even you are bullying this daddy, right? Thunder God is taking it. Buzz. A white-silver spear landed in Long Fei's hands. The silver spear was about 2 meters long. Its entire body was silvery white, filled with traces of lightning. With a grasp of Long Fei, the power of the lightning immortal roots burst forth, and the lightning on the silver spear raged. Dragging the spear with one hand, Long Fei moved as though he was flying and crazily rushed forward. The snowman beast also crazily pounced over. Myriad Thunder Spear technique. Thunderbolt Fury. Long Fei shouted in his heart. The spear behind him moved and pierced through the air. A bolt of lightning came crashing down, connecting with Thunder God to steal it. The lightning on the tip of the spear exploded and pierced the snowman's chest. Break for me. Long Fei moved, his body sinking slightly. A strong force burst out, continuously pushing the snow monster back. At this moment, roar! With an angry roar, another snow monster leapt out from the pile of snow. Long Fei couldn't detect them at all, because these fellows were like white snow. They were disguised to the same extent. It was impossible to tell them apart. F***CK. Long Fei scolded. You like to do sneak attacks, right? Let's see who can sneak attack who. Shaking the heavens. Long Fei roared out, and the idea began to move. A 10-meter-tall mighty heaven from the space ring rushed out, and before the mighty heaven had finished his attack, he was sent flying by the huge steel shield. Bang, bang, bang. At this moment, the Thunder God gun in Long Fei's hand pierced through the snow monster. His palm blocked the pike, and he shouted in his heart, 4th level Wushuang. Lightning Immortal Foundation. Move. 1,000,000 volts. Explode for me. A ray of lightning energy shot out, following the Thunder God gun, and exploded inside the snow monster's body. Boom, boom, boom. The snow monster's body was roasted black, and its mouth emitted white smoke. And then the system beep rang. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for slaying giant snowman monster for gaining 100 experience points, power of celestial S 100 points, energy values 1 point. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining snow monster. Shua! Before Long Fei could come and check, the blood vein was already absorbed by the dragon Salyer. It was extremely fast. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing a snow monster. Mission: sweep the snow monster. Quantity: 100 heads. Time: 1 hour. Reward: 300,000 experience points. 3,000 power of celestial touched second level mission. Quest tip: if you fail the quest, you will lose 1 million EXP. Table of contents. Hint: players must complete the quest within 1 hour or else the quest will fail, and the EXP will be deducted. Holy *T. Long Fei did not have the time to react at all, and this mission did not give him the chance to reject. I'm just wondering what's going on. What task is it? 7th. You're tuning in to the Mystic Fist YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.